All right, we're back, and I'm your host, the RPG guy, and I am a terrible human being to myself. As you can see, roughly 10 hours later of grinding. Now, to be fair, a lot of that is grinding. Some of that is me getting up and getting dinner, which is about 30 minutes to an hour. So I've probably tacked on about, I'd say 5 hours on there. But we have leveled and mastered every current job we have. And just for anybody keeping count, there's only one more job left. But we don't have it yet. And so I've set my characters up, in such a way, I don't know why they're still like that, but there we go, that I'm treating them as if they were their own entities, pretty much. Because they're getting and reaping all of the benefits of finishing classes, which means in this game, particularly when you master a job, there's usually some blunt and, you know, statistics and skills that go to the freelancer job, making the freelancer technically is only as good as the work that you've done. The thing is that by doing this, my freelancers are pretty powerful. Now, I'm only level 40 because where I went to grind, which is what I told you before, it was way out this way. We grinded off of an enemy known as the Villa, and we just beat them, and it's about here. And we beat the Villa, and they give 25 apps per kill. Well, in about 4 to 5 plus hours, maybe even 6, you could argue, was enough to pretty much level all of my characters' jobs evenly, you know, without really leveling up too much in XP. And so because of this, you know, now we have pretty much a beefy set of characters. Our current ability setup is white magic summoning, black magic, time magic, spell blade on Bart's, and blue magic, which also a handful of those hours was spent learning the blue magics. I got that creature to finally spawn to learn and pick up Mighty Guard. And then I picked up some that I've missed out on, like Moon Flute, Deathclaw, Lilliputian Lyric, Pon's Chorus, Dark Spark I picked up, Eroga, you know, things I didn't actually have that would be somewhat useful. I went ahead and just said, screw it, I'm gonna pick them up. And be freaking done with it, you know? And so, with that said, here's where we are now. And so, also, I am sitting on a metric ton of cash, which, in and of itself, is its own thing. So, this is a hidden town known as Mirage Village. But now we should not suffer almost at all. Grab 2 of those, 2 of those. And grab 2 more of those. That is decent armor. Probably don't really need these, but just in case. Okay. We're loaded up on gear. I guess I really didn't need the crystal helm now that I think about it, but oh well. Whoop. Alright. Because as you can see, the find path is available to us. You notice I touched that box. Keep that in mind too. The angel robe is pretty dated. We got those as drops. This negates water, but it absorbs water, negates fire. A reason to be shy about that. Permanent haste prevents paralysis, sleep, stop, and slow statuses. Yeah, you probably want that. You know what? Let's grab those 2 as well. Screw it. We're sitting on a lot of stuff we could sell too if it comes down to it, because there's some good shit here. We'll worry about that pretty much later. You can see this whole place is like crazy as far as like the layout. A silencing bow that can be equipped one-handed. Never know when you're gonna need that. For whatever reason I might find in the future. Yeah. I think that's really all we can do here for the moment. And of course, the always ever important magic shop. So, oh, we can't buy anything, but wait, there's more. I believe there's more. Okay, hold on. I forget how to do this. Oh wow, so it's a town that was stuck between dimensions. So obviously these are the some of the uber spells of the game here. With Arise and Dispel alone making it worth the trip. The two weakest spells here, I would argue, are Death and Osmosis. Quick stops the passing of time for all but the caster. That's why Time Magic is good. Is sometimes a good idea to have on a healer. It just depends on your setup, really. And then Banish erases one enemy from the battlefield. It seems like the same thing as Death. But some enemies might be immune to Death, but not the other one. So, Now, really quick. Yeah. So, we could stock up on elixirs if we so chose, and we're good there. So, we're still sitting on a metric ton of cash. And so, we don't have enough to buy, you know, a whole load of those. I have 28, I think that's good enough for now, and there's no reason to blow, you know, all of our money off of that. And to be fair, there's not, you know, we really only want to come back this way once we get closer to endgame, and then any money we're not going to use to go to endgame, we can use that way. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I believe I made a mistake. Nothing else. Okay, anything up there? Probably not. Yes. First you gotta ride around the world on a yellow chocobo. How's that? Okay. You don't say. Free healing. Two merchants in every store. Oh boy. The darkness. Oh, the fear. Ooh. Yay. wonderful piano playing. They quake in our fear at our tickling of the ivory talent. Oh boy. Wait, I don't think we want to go this way yet. So you might be saying, why can't we see the secret passages? Again, and either we have to have someone have thief as a job, or you master thief and then you can permanently see them. Hence the point of it. Ooh. It's a worthy buy. More scrolls. You know, if we're ever gonna use the throw skill, we at least now have the means to do it. There's enough of those. These probably aren't worth all that much, but these are. And that would burn through all of our money. But let's get a healthy amount, maybe 30. And that still gives us a healthy amount of cash on us. Hence the reason for doing that. Have a little bit left. Okay. Now we're not done yet. So we now have the black chocobo. We'll leave him there for the moment because we were asked to do something very specific, which is to use our yellow chocobo and traverse around the world. Which sounds very difficult, but it can be done. Via lakes and rivers and all that hullabaloo. Well, we're not going to be able to accomplish that unless we give it the good old college try. Nope, not that way. But yeah, it is a process to figure out how to do it. It's not just something that's like, oh, this is really easy, have fun. It's not. It's definitely slightly obnoxious how tricky it is for some people. But in general, it's not a big deal. We're going to get a free item for doing this. So we'll officially start at this town, at the town Mirage Town. So from the town. And when we finish, you know, get our reward for it, we'll get back on Boko and then head to our airship. But we got to prove that we can take this chocobo around the world. The value of the free item is debatable, but eh. So far we're making some pretty good progress. No holdups, no hang-ups, no bizarreness yet, but I'm pretty sure it'll be coming. So this is where our airship is how we would get back to it. And then again, I don't think I do think this is all counting, so I mean we're gonna find out one way or the other here. Gotta love little side quests. I love little side quests. Oops, and I went the wrong way. Fucking idiot! Head down this way, through here. Reminds me, we need to see if we can... I did locate the stupid castle, for anybody wondering. The place I was looking for where the secret weapons are hidden. For some reason, it's just brain farting. I couldn't frickin' remember. Oh, really? Suck on some death! Oh, I failed. Suck on strong air! Oh, and we can show off Soldier, why not? Have me some fun. This then, strangely enough, yeah, there we go. Why am I having trouble getting into the village? I get a feeling it's because the chocobo is sitting on the forest, and the forest is not registering as the town. Which wouldn't surprise me. And if for any reason some of that bounces back, boom goes the dynamite. There we go. Yeah, it's a weird little place. What can I say? Let's go talk to Dingleberry here. What, you really ran around the world? You're nuts, mister. Still, a promise is a promise. And we get the Mirage Vest. Sweet. We'll take a look at that. Magical wear distracted by it. Magical wear that distracts enemies by creating an illusionary double. So, there you go. Probably good for, like, when you know, if we were, like, running out with Ninja and other offensive melee classes and the like, but really not pertinent to deal with in the moment. Alright, let's go get some free healing, because healing is your friend. As we say in the old country. Which isn't a thing that anybody says in any old country, I just like saying that, so blow it out your ass. Okay, now with that said, we do have one of the tablets which gives us access to, what is it, 3 of the ultimate weapons, 3 of the 12 ultimate weapons. There are many theories and philosophies of it's not worth getting them until you can get them all. That's pretty weak thinking. I would strongly disagree with that. So we'll want to make sure that we do that. But pretty much we got to get back to our... First of all, we got to get back to our airship. So there's not even a point in having the discussion until we can get all the way back there. You know what? While we're on the way, there is some other stuff we can do. May as well do it. We'll head through Jack-Off Cave, as I like to call it. Because most of the enemies here are not very interesting. We could just wipe them out without burning through our stats. I probably should have saved. So let me go outside really quick and save. Because as I am a dipshit, I didn't think to do that. After doing the around the world trip. So save, let's go inside. It's a Scolita that we can now viciously and violently murder. We don't have to run from him anymore. We can kill him in all of his cute, adorable glory. Oh, you know what? I have Ferris using a blue magic spell, don't I? And look at, they even get free counterattacks. Again, they carry that from mastering monk. Whereas before that would not really be a thing. Okay. You might be thinking, why are we heading through here? Yet again, but all things have a purpose. Just because you don't know what that purpose is, doesn't mean that that purpose does not exist. And that's fine. I mean, well, okay, let me rephrase, because that sounded really wrong when I said that way. There's a reason for my madness, just because it's not very apparent right away, it doesn't mean that it's not there. And really, we're coming this way, and I don't know if I want to spoil it or not, but we're going to get, we're on our way to acquisize a summon, as they say. Which is sometimes easier said than done, but for the most part, that's what we're setting out to do. Yay. Well, looky here. Many of you who don't remember, this is where we would fight the object, the art, earlier in the game to level up. Our abs, specifically. It gave us mostly levels of that. Just curious if I can blind them. Yep, looked like it worked. Mostly. But then they can still do that, which is always an issue. One thing I don't like is how counterattack is seeming to offset my turns. That's becoming a problem. Luckily we have ribbons on most of our characters, so it's not really a big deal. There we go. Get some. And get some. All right. Come here to try to best me. A pity I don't have the time to fight the likes of you. I could spare you, say, 1 minute. Still want to rumble? Sure. Pretty confident, 1 minute and not a second more. Got it? Okay. It's our funeral. Who could it be? It is Odin. To whom we should be okay against. Depending on what happens here. Ooh, that's gonna sting a little. Let's go with break. Let's throw up Mighty Guard. Just move this all along, shall we? Odin wants to play rough, we'll play rough. And that's all she wrote. For anybody wondering, this is correct. Odin is actually vulnerable to break. And remember when we're using Spellblade, Spellblade skills automatically bypass pretty much the resistances or the ability to hit. So like casting a break, if an enemy is vulnerable to the status effect of being turned to stone, right, being petrified, then the argument becomes, well, what's the right way to handle it? Well, if they're vulnerable to being to that, then that means pretty much just, I'm trying to explain it and I'm having trouble explaining it. It pretty much means that spell sword status effects are guaranteed to hit versus the status effects casting itself. So using the black magic spell break in Final Fantasy V, there's a chance that you'll miss. Okay, and that chance sometimes is a lot higher than I'm sometimes willing to admit. But it is pretty high. With that said, you can bypass that, right? You can quickly, easily bypass missing by using a spell sword. And so in turn, hence why the spell sword is a popular, probably one of the most underrated classes in this game. Debatably. Just gonna throw that out there. It's definitely one of the best classes by far in the entire game. And I say that pretty positively. And the reason being is that, like I said, if I want to poison an enemy who somehow my poison spells, my magic isn't connecting for whatever reason, I have the means to do that, right? And break is probably one of the uber spells of this game, underrated. So when I was fighting the villa, for example, for anybody wondering about like how hard the grinding session really was, break sword, instant gives villa. It actually instant gives a lot of enemies. There's only I want to say a handful of them that are resilient or resistant to it. So again, something to kind of keep in mind. So yeah. Ooh, nice. Keep moving. We ain't leveling off the enemies here. That's for sure. So, yeah, it's crazy. It really is pretty nuts. Okay, so let's head back to our airship. Because there's a few tasks I still want to kind of deal with or do. Gotta love these side questing episodes, right? But to be fair, in most Final Fantasies, there's always a trick for beating Bahamut and Odin to some degree. Very rarely is it just a straight out fight until you get into the more recent Final Fantasies. Where you just straight up have to freaking win a nasty ass fight. Alright, let's land here. Let us go ahead and Kiraga. Don't necessarily need to go and heal yet. I'm saving because there are fights here, if my memory serves me right, that are pretty nasty. Nah, we don't need to have that going. But the fights here, number one, they're very hard to escape, and the enemies are themselves very nasty. And then when you have to deal with shit like this... Yeah, he's got a shield on him. Okay. Dispel. Oh, I'm pretty sure I dispelled that, or did he just put it back on while I was reading through the list of spells I wanted to fling at him? I think that's actually what happened. Okay, she's already 2 levels behind because of the storyline, so I don't want her to stay further and further behind here. Just attack. He fled anyway. Get out of here. It's not even why the reason we're here. And not all us problems can be solved by flinging magic around like a jackass. Okay, Kuza, or whatever. The castle that is sealed. Yeah, we'll be taking us that Masamune, but before we do any of that, let's go ahead and insert sexy tablet. And we're gonna take some really good weapons and some other weapons. So the Masamune is probably the second best main melee weapon available. So we're gonna grab that because there's a part of me that wants to dual wield, but you notice we haven't been doing that yet because we just don't have the best possible weapon loadouts possible. So there are reasons to shy away from that. Excalibur, of course. And now we have a couple options. There's the axe. There's the ninjato sword, the ninja sword. The bell. Let me just go around and show you what's here before I grab anything else, because we can only grab 3. There's the harp and the bell. We got a staff, couple of staffs, a whip, a bow and arrow, the axe, the halberd. And I think ultimately it'd be better for us to grab 3 good melee weapons. And so we'll take, and they need to be blade types. You notice everything I'm taking is a sword of some sort because of the benefits. Assassin's Dagger probably is the best option. It was either that or the Ninjato. And again, it goes back to you being able to use sword magic. These all can be used with sword magic. So there's no reason, and like immediately we'll probably grab the Ninjato, and then I have to make a decision, but I might go with the staves. I haven't really decided yet. It really just depends on the performance in and of the characters. So you can see that lowers the attack by just a little bit, but raises strength, straight up just strength. And that's with two-handed. So we would take two-handed off and put the Excalibur, the Masamune, on. So the Brave Blade, we've not really run from that many battles. So I think we may have run from a couple, but nothing significant. But what this allows us to now have access to is we can go in here, plop white magic on him, and there you go. We can put the Excalibur and the Masamune on, but we're gonna do the other sword for right now, which they always shove at the bottom because of reasons. So we'll put the Brave Blade there, 245. And then what we can do is go to Ferris. We can dump two-handed as well. And we can either give him... We can kind of give him something that's kind of in a mixed area. But I would say we should give him black magic for sure. And then he'll take these two, Excalibur and Kikuchimonji. Hate having to say that. But if we look at the Assassin's Dagger, this sometimes kills enemies in one hit, and it's only 6 damage lower. Let's take that and put that on him for the time being. Again, ribbons are your friend. So because we changed skills, the game wants to give us things we don't really want to have on our characters. Okay. So that's relatively good. Again, we can swap these gauntlets out for something a little better, or debatably better. Like we could put the power armlet. We lose some defense. Well, you know what? Actually, we'll leave the protect ring and the Genji gloves on for now. Their damage is relatively good for the time being. And now we have another offensive magic caster and another, healer. So these are very good things. We might swap time magic and white magic around, but I'm not convinced that we need to necessarily do that as of yet. Okay, so we've got some good gear, but we're not done yet. There's a few more things we can just kind of knock out.
Prisoners of this space between dimensions, hear me, my servants.
Oh boy. Oh, look, it's like all of the creatures from the Power Ranger show. I'm just kidding.
The warriors of light, guided by the crystals, seek the ancient tablets, find these cretins and kill them. Kill them real good. They must not be allowed to obtain the legendary weapons that destroyed Enuo.
Let us do your bidding, sire.
Very, very well. Go now, my monsters. Destroy them while I obtain the full power of the void.
And away they go. And we're now back in control. Let's get the hell out of Dodge, shall we? But they're just not gonna let us leave. That would be too easy. Haste, because Knock Silly doesn't do anything to her specifically. We could try, just to... she is confused. Well, that's right, well, okay. Never mind, because Krylie got confused, and that meant nothing, so there you go. Ow. Okay, let's try something here. I just hasted them. That's really bad. Hopefully Bart's turn comes first, because he's our only hope. Not really, because she's gonna heal, but still. Yeah, it didn't work. That's bad. Why? Did she just oh, she randomly attacks with that. That's right. Whoops. I don't really have anything. Those fixers. He's eventually gonna flee, so. There we go. Really? That doesn't count? Damn it. Every time. No! I don't know why I waste my time fighting this thing when I could just easily run. We might have to reload anyway if this doesn't start correcting itself, but it is what it is. See, why didn't that knock her out of it? I don't know. Eh, whatever. And he ran like a jackass. Is it killable? Yes. Is it worth killing? No. Not in any substantial but not by any... Not in any substantial way. And he would hate to run from it. That's the other thing I'm trying to, in a sense, avoid. Kind of like the plague here. Is that technically running? We won't be doing this too often, but again, we don't want it to ruin our brave blade. It looked like it might have, so yeah. Whatever. It's a stupid endurance fight anyway. So, that's every piano in the game. We can actually get some street cred for this and learn another song. May as well. Which I probably should have done earlier, but oh well. But I'm thinking, you know, it's like things you don't think about as you're doing it, kind of a deal. Oh, hey, I played the last piano. Oh, you know what? I didn't go talk to this dude. Get the hero's rhyme, yay. And then we have to ask ourselves, what else can we knock out here? Two elements I want to say. He has a ribbon on. She doesn't really need the ribbon right now. And you might say, well, wait a minute. Aren't you worried that she'll get confused? She's your healer. Well, we have magic now on another character. So, because of that, we want to... There we go. Reduce the amount of MP she's spending because she's going to be flinging expensive magic left and right on her turns, where our melee fighter isn't going to be doing that. So it doesn't make sense for her to be burning through all of her MP at a freaking neck-breaking speed, right? So, yeah, during the downtime, we got a lot of stuff done. And I can't stress enough how much shit we actually knocked out. Okay, we can't buy ethers here. For some reason, I thought we could. All right, let's head out. All right, let's skedaddle, because we got one other thing we could probably do. Yeah, now that I'm thinking of it, with our Chocobo Around the World run here, there was one other thing we could have done. And we have the means to do, is really how it should be worded. You don't always have the means to do certain activities. Like, you could technically go to where an activity is, side quest, whatever you want to call it, but it doesn't mean that you have the means to succeed in the endeavor until much later. We may as well do this now. Sweet. Just wondering if there was anything else up here. You know, I never think to check sometimes. Alright, let's take a look here. Atlantis is a random monster. When used in battle, the magic weakens. Its magic weakens the more you use it. So, my understanding is that, and I never use it, it's a reusable item. What it does is really not that pertinent. It's pretty much a free summon spell, and it'll summon your good stuff. It'll use good spells out of it, but the more you use it, the more likely you'll get a crappy one. Again, I don't care for randomness with my magic slinging prowess. I prefer to be more pinpointed with my magical selection. Random, unless you want to do it for free. Now that item is good if you didn't max out all your jobs, to which I kind of done, so there's not really a reason for it. With that said, this is pretty much all that's really relevant to do at this exact moment, because now we need to start kind of dealing with some of the other locations in the game that are now, in a sense, continuing the story. But we've come a long way. I mean, like I said, I went through the hassle to max out every job that we currently have, with only one job remaining. I won't say what it is for those of you who are not familiar with the game, but most of you who are know what job it is. And yes, I will actually spend the roughly 40-30 minutes it takes to max that out So every job will be maxed out. Because why not? So that way you guys can kind of get an idea on how it's done and all the fun behind that, which there is no fun behind that, but we'll get it knocked out too. And then yeah, because maxing out the jobs, like I said, those passive abilities, you don't want to pass them up. They're just that good and making you that much stronger. And we're still not really that far leveled, so we're not over leveled, we're just over jobbed. Our job levels are absurd, but our actual character level is right where it's supposed to be, strangely enough. This game sometimes is weird with that concept. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for stopping by. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ActorStudios for more live gaming action, because when we come back, we actually start progressing forward through the game and start knocking out kind of some of the other stuff that's there. We do have some enemies too that we gotta learn from, so we'll be dealing with that too. I'm probably gonna set up Ferris and Bart's for that. Primarily, well, we'll figure it out. I'm not too worried about it. But anyway, you get the gist. Thanks for stopping by, guys, and we'll see you guys next time.